Hi everyone and welcome into today's Samplist product review. My name's Greg. Today I'm going to introduce you to Riffendium X from Audiofier, and I hope you can hang around because I've written a track using Riffendium X so you can hear it in its full glory. You won't want to miss that one. Riffendium X is a quality virtual guitar riff engine. It provides over 300 editable guitar recordings including riffs, rhythms, articulations and phrases which you can slice and dice to your liking. Then you can combine them seamlessly into a built-in dual-lane sequencer to forge an endless array of searing guitar creations. Each loop has been recorded in all modes of the major scales, giving you endless flexibility to find the perfect fit for your musical vision. It comes with more than 13 gigabytes of content and runs in the full retail version of Kontakt version 5.8.1 or above. It will not work with the free Kontakt player. It's currently available for $129. See links in the description for details. Audiofier have kindly made available a copy of Riffendium X today for our review, but as is always the case with the Samplist, Audiofier have had no input at all into the making of this video. We value highly our independence so we can offer you an unbiased review to help you make the right decisions. And if you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe to stay in touch with all our latest content. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's dive right in and take a look at Audiofier's Riffendium X. This is Riffendium X from Audiofier, a very interesting guitar VST. Now today will be a lightning tour through some presets, the core features of the VST, and I'll also introduce you to a composition I wrote using Riffendium X. But if you want the detail overview, I'll refer you over to YouTube. If you search up for Audiofier Riffendium X, you will find a comprehensive overview of all the features. With that said, let's kick things off and dive into some presets. Let's take a look at the core features of Riffendium X. In the top left is your list of presets from which you can use as a basis, if not the actual preset itself, to create variations. I'll show you more shortly. In this tab here in the bottom of the row, you can select the guitar types, of which you have a rich array of guitars to choose from. Anything from a Flying V to a Gibson ES35, there's a Tele, there's some Strats in there, some beautiful rich guitars. You can also double track the guitar to give a really warm, rich sound that you can widen the zone, if you like, or the stereo field from. Within the same space, you can choose even the bridge pickup, the neck pickup, or in this case, a bridge pickup for a Tele type. You can change the controls, obviously. This is the traditional volume, tone, and release of the guitar itself. You can even change the pitch of the double tracking to give it almost a phasey, chorusy sound. This tab here controls all your stomp boxes, of which you have two, a pre-amp stomp and a post-amp stomp. You can select it and choose the device of your type. that you would prefer. And of course, you can vary each of the parameters on the preamp and the post cab stomp as well. Moving right along, selecting this icon here switches you over to the amp types, allowing you to select from a number of different amplifier types, and of course the controls, treble, bass, gain, etc. for that amp. You can control or select rather from a number of presets, the different cabinet combinations. Skipping over this box with the dice in the middle momentarily to this tab, allowing you to control the master convolver or the impulse response engine, reverb, master delay, master limiter. The main item or the main feature where the real core engine really sits is this box here, representing the dual lane sequencer. Now, to show you the basic principles of how the sequencer works, I've just taken the liberty of loading up one of the other presets. This one is called a rig example, a vintage. It sounds like this straight out of the box. Very bluesy rock. I think the IR is a little bit too heavy. I'm going to turn up the dry signal, turn down the wet a little bit just to make it a little dry. Now, if you love that particular riff, go for it. Or alternatively, you could potentially change it or even add new articulations to it. This one's called Riff Beards, and I'm going to select the looking glass. Under Riffs, I can choose. Now, if I select one of these, you'll hear a preview. Given your current setup, you may care to even add a different riff in the middle of it, maybe like a transition, maybe. I'm going to take a punt. I'll go for a transition. I've got no idea if it'll work, but I'm going to select it here and increase its duration for 8 bars. Let's see what it sounds like. Or we could even add in a connective. A connective, as the name suggests, allows you to connect two pieces of it. Let's say let's do that. I'm going to put the connective in at this slot here, and I will lengthen its duration for the full 8 beats. Now we have a riff that sounds like. Cool. So what you see here is the sequencing engine. I haven't barely scratched the surface here. Is really powerful stuff. You can split the sequences across the 2 lanes, one on the top lane, one on the bottom lane. Essentially allows you to maybe hold one of the notes constant, like the bottom E string when you're chugging in that heavy rhythm. You can change the rhythm on the top and keep the constant one on the bottom, like a bottom E bass, consistent. You can do all sorts of stuff like copy the current sequence and drop it into another slot. These slots here allows you to control using key switches various different sequences for your composition. I just feel like I'm not really doing justice to this particular part of it. It really does take some time to get into it, but it's really, really powerful stuff. But that gives you the essence of what it's all about, a highly customizable riff engine. Now I'm going to return momentarily to this function, which is the randomization generator as indicated by the icon. In this setup window over here, you can choose which of the options you want to randomize if you were to select and click that dice button. You can randomize the different guitar types, the stomp boxes, the amp types, the cabinet type, even master effects, even the patterns and the sequences we've just been doing, as well as the articulations within them. You can choose them whatever you like, as many or as few as you like. So let's just keep it really simple. Let's randomize the guitar type. Let's randomize the amplifier type and the patterns and the articulations for themselves. So now we have this sequence. With that, let's hit the die. It's giving me a warning saying I've just invoked an impulse response, of which I'm going to disable the warning. I will turn off the IR because I find them quite heavy. Not too bad. So here's now what it's generated. If you don't like it, hit it again. I'm not getting anything there. Let's try it even again. Now with the random generator, it can be a little hit and miss because it doesn't really understand exactly what you want. But I think the idea is it's a very creative outlet for randomizing some ideas, which you can take. You might have to tweak them a little bit, just give them a little bit of a punch, make them a little tighter. This button here to the left allows you to randomize the guitar and amplifier configuration. So you have this, and keeping the riff the same. So let's do that. Now you get this sound. Let's change it again. Very cool. Once more. Same riff, different guitar configurations. This button here allows you to randomize the articulation or the sequence while keeping the guitar rig and amplifier choice consistent. Now we have. Try it again. Weird. But cool. So there you have it. That's all I'm going to go through at the moment. It's far more sophisticated than that. There is the ability to control different articulation types. You can control the amount of noise on the particular articulation, whether it's soft or muted, whether it's full-on blown chords, etc. This is a really, really powerful engine and one of the best features of this whole instrument. It does take a while to master, but I really grew to love it because the quality of the recordings is cool, very well done, and some beautiful playing, some really rich libraries of riffs and connectives and stuff. I really, really liked it. I hope you will too. So let's head on over to the composition that I wrote a little earlier with Riffendium X, and on the other side of that, I'll give you my final thoughts and we'll wrap up today's video. Riffendium X is a very unique and powerful tool on many levels. The editability of the loops to allow you to customize them to your liking is most welcome because most of the loop-based engines limit this, and the world ends up being flooded with a heap of similar sounding riffs. Not so with Riffendium X. The array of loops are awesome, well organized and well designed, including not only just rhythms and riffs, but connectives and transitions, legatos and chords aplenty. And the standout quality of the recordings really pops. Very professional results indeed are available, quality that I could never achieve with my real guitar and amp. But there are some trade-offs. Riffendium X will demand some time of you to learn how to tame it if you really want to harness its power. To the learner, using the sequencer can be frustrating at first, not least because there is limited editing capability. I suspect this might possibly be because of the limits of Kontakt itself. As a result, editing the different parts and loops to create a sequence isn't the best experience. It's not easy to move snippets around the sequencer. There's no traditional cut and paste or drag and drop capability, for example. On many occasions, I wanted to preview a loop, and if I didn't like it, I couldn't Ctrl Z to undo and return to my previous selection. Also, because of the phrase-based nature of the loops that have a defined start and end length that can vary across different tracks in different instances, it's extremely frustrating sometimes during DAW playback and track editing because the engine doesn't reset back to the start of the sequence when you stop the playhead. This means that all the tracks in your composition are now out of alignment until they reach a point where they all just happen to align. It would be welcome if this could be overcome in future editions. But with those caveats, I ultimately really like Riffendium X because of the quality of the recordings and the flexible nature of how it works that really produces genuine professional sounding results. It's a boon not only for non-guitarists but even for seasoned guitar hacks like me. I've even been inspired to learn some of the rhythms I discovered just to improve my own playing on the real guitar. If you're after a quality outcome and you're ready to invest some initial time and patience with it, you'll find Riffendium X an invaluable part of your guitar arsenal. And that's a wrap on our video for today. As always, my thanks to you for spending some of your precious time with me today to explore Riffendium X from Audiofier. On the way out, you can help the video by giving it a thumbs up and share the love with other musicians just like you and me. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and you'll be fully armed and at the forefront of the latest news and reviews from the world of virtual instruments. This is Greg Revell signing off for the Samplers team once again, and as always, wishing you all the best on your journey to find your sounds and find your soul. See you on the next one.